Please welcome to the stage Mubadala Investment Company CEO of Petroleum and Petrochemicals, Musabbeh Al Kaabi, and Bloomberg's Manus, Cranny.
Musabbeh, you here?
I'll take this one. Thank you.
Musabbeh, good evening. Good to see you. The toast of the town, the talk of the town. This man's just done one of the biggest deals with Carlyle. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
To you and the company. CEO of Mubadala, Petroleum and Petrochemicals, the platform, not the CEO of the company that he came from. Now, listen, you've done this deal.
Don't get me into trouble.
I'm the one that has to be careful. So you've done this deal. I suppose this is a perfect audience to start by asking you, can we expect more? Is this the start of a much more active program for this year?
That's a great question, Manus, but let's talk about the deal. We are very glad to reach an agreement with Carlyle to sell 30 to 40% of one of our best performing assets in the portfolio, Sabsa. Sabsa is a fully integrated oil and gas company, 90 years old. So old, and Abu Dhabi started the investment back in 1988. We have acquired 100% of the company back in 2011. So in the last few years, we have worked closely with the management team. We have created a fully integrated company that is active in the hydrocarbon value chain and lately expanded into the renewable energy as well. The company is the largest privately owned integrated oil and gas company in Europe. And so we thought it's the right time to explore bring in a partner or floating part of the company. And as Waleed mentioned earlier, partnership is part of our DNA. So we are very glad to have reached an agreement with Carlyle. Carlyle brings a solid experience, track record, especially their energy team. And we're looking forward to work with them and take the company to the next journey and hopefully grow the business.
Well, what is the plan there? Is it for Carlyle to step up and take another equity chunk over a period of time? What's the ambition to grow the relationship?
I think when you think about the Carlyle team and Mubadala team, we're driven by one principle: value creation. So we had a very long discussion with Carlyle, and we're perfectly aligned. So we have common view on the strength of the business. We have a common view of how can we unlock additional value of the business. And they bring in a new, fresh look at the business. And definitely, there are many things you can do.
So are you both aligned with, I suppose one could say, Nirvana, which is still the ambition would be to IPO the business in the medium term?
Mubadala was very transparent from day number one. We announced this transaction back in early 2018. We were very clear that we're exploring two tracks, the IPO track and the M&A track. And I remember I had a discussion with you in November after we decided to pull the transaction, and you pushed me hard on what oil price will satisfy Mubadala. And I told you at that time, it has nothing to do with the oil price. It is a fully integrated company, partially hedged. And when we think it's the right time, we will do it. So we are fully satisfied with the agreement and the value that we agreed on. $12 billion enterprise value demonstrate clearly that the business is very strong.
We just heard from Waleed there about making smart investments. I'm duty bound to say you've just received a great big check. Where are you going to put that money to work? Is it going back to Khaldoon? Is it going back to the mothership?
That's a great question again. And
you keep telling me I'm asking great questions, but I want to get a sense.
The answer is,
as
an institution, we have came up with a very clear strategy. We know which sectors we would like to invest in. And as mentioned earlier, we are active in 15 sectors. from the technology, infrastructure, real estate, healthcare,
but does this money,
and oil and gas.
But does this money stay with you? Does it stay in the oil and gas for
Well, the way we work,
petroleum?
No, the way we work is that it will go to a central pool, and all the sectors need to compete for that capital. And we also have in our strategy a certain capital allocation allocated for each sector. So I think we have a proper mechanism to redeploy these proceeds into the right sectors.
It's been a 3-year transformation journey that you have undertaken. The portfolio at your part of the business, in the Mubadala platform, the energy side, you're 50-50 now, oil and gas, I understand. So I've just come home from Saudi Arabia. Khalid Al-Fali is chasing gas assets. The neighbours are chasing gas assets in size. Where are you chasing gas assets, USA or Asia?
Well, if Khalid Al-Falih said something, he's right.
We're not going to lean into that conversation.
All right.
We're going to focus on you.
Let me highlight quickly our strategy. The petroleum and petrochemical platform or business in Mubadala, in terms of asset value, almost slightly north of $40 billion. We are active in the full value chain with a very strong position globally in the petrochemical. So we have a very strong position in Borealis and 100% ownership of Nova Chemical. And as I mentioned, fully integrated. So let's go to the upstream, the gas, natural gas. We have an institutional view that natural gas will enjoy a very healthy growth going forward, almost 2% CAGR. And that drives some of the philosophy and strategy we're implementing. So if I look at the upstream investment Mubadala done in the last few years, and you know what, since the start of Mubadala with Dolphin, it is a natural gas. So we are heavily weighted into the natural gas. So Dolphin, we're proud to have a Dolphin in our portfolio. We recently acquired 10% stake in one of the largest, no, it is the largest gas field in East Mediterranean, Dhuhr field in Egypt, almost 30 TCF gas in place. We're also developing a multi-TCF gas discovery in Malaysia. And recently, we were awarded with PTT in Thailand, the largest gas field in Thailand, Erwan project, producing currently 1.2 billion cubic feet per day of natural gas and a strategic asset to the country. So if you look at our latest investments, clearly we're biased toward the gas. And we believe that the natural gas will enable us to move from a high carbon economy into a low carbon economy.
And that is by the way, that is the conversation that I had yesterday in Saudi Arabia, which was about the movement to a circular economy and transforming the needs. You've mentioned gas. I mean, that was a heavy-duty pitch for gas. Where does renewables fit into the equation, or will that be less important to you?
We are a strong believer in renewable energy. Abu Dhabi was the first, probably, player in the region to embrace that technology. When we incubated Masdar back in 2006,
yes,
people were questioning Abu Dhabi, why a country rich in oil and gas would embrace a potentially disruptive technology. Because that's what Abu Dhabi is all about. That's what Mubadala is all about. We try to be part of the future.
Are you actively looking at renewable asset deals?
Sorry?
Are you actively looking for renewable deals?
No, we have a well-established platform. Masdar is our company that is very active in the renewable space. As I mentioned, we also institutionally believe in the future where all sources of energy will be required, and definitely renewable energy will be part of that mix. CEPSA, we started our discussion about CEPSA, lately moved into the renewable and wanted to be part of that ecosystem. So we're monitoring the space, and we would like to remain a significant and key player in the renewable space.
You mentioned Nova, so obviously it's nice to sort of touch on that. You said it's one of your best performing assets. You've invested billions. I'm saving you repeating some of the lines. So the question is, when's the time right to look at a stake sale there? Could it be next year? Is that part of the plan?
Well, Nova Chemical is one of the crown jewels in the
Yes.
portfolio. As I mentioned, the $40 billion portfolio. We are extremely satisfied currently with the financial, the operating performance or operating agreement, performance of the platform. And we, from time to time, we look at our portfolio and we try to identify the right levers to create more value. If there is any change to our portfolio management, definitely we will be share it with you and others.
You were preparing for an IPO. You ended up doing a private equity deal. What did you learn? What did you learn in the process of doing the deal with Carlyle?
I think one key lesson learned, for me at least, if you believe in a business, you should stay with your belief. There were points in the IPO that we were encouraged to look at the valuation, but we kept our line consistent. CEPSA is a well-established, solid business. We believe in the future of this company. We believe in the business fundamentals. And one thing Mubadala will definitely not do is to compromise on the value. So you need to believe strongly on your business. That's the key lessons I would deliver to everyone in this room.
A lot of private equity institutions have come and visited the kingdom lately. We've had ADNOC doing deals, you're doing deals. Do you get a sense? When I introduced the evening, I said, you know, the world is looking at Abu Dhabi, the world is looking at the UAE and Abu Dhabi in a slightly different prism these days. Is this a new destination, not a new, but a renewed mecca for private equity interest as a destination for capital on the reach for yield? Yeah. When people are reaching for yield, Musabbeh, is this a destination for them?
I think as highlighted by Khaldoon and Walid, partnership is part of our DNA. So we truly believe in partnerships. We are open for business. Abu Dhabi always been, if you take the oil and gas industry, for example, we have a long history of partnering with the leading IOCs. And we're going to continue believing in that mode of operation. And I think we will create the right environment, the right ecosystem to attract more investors in Abu Dhabi. And in fact, we can do it because we have all the requirements and the ingredients to become a central and financial hub of the region.
I want to get a sense of valuations. There's lots of global deals being done in terms of Aramco, SABIC, Clariant. In your discussions around the world, are you getting a sense that valuations are stretched, or are we at the beginning of a new velocity in terms of pricing assets in the petrochemical business?
I think in the petrochemical business, okay, if you look at the three sectors, so in the oil, it is enjoying probably a 1%, 1.5% annual growth, with a big question mark on the peak demand sometime in the future, 2030, some people are saying 2040. Gas, natural gas, on the other hand, is enjoying a more aggressive 2% CAGR. And looks, there is a bright future for natural. Renewable is even more aggressive. Petrochemical is enjoying a growth slightly above global GDP. And we see it institutionally that it will be an enabler for the future technology disruptions, because the demand for light material will increase. And where are you going to get this light material? Definitely from polyolefin and plastics.
As I came downstairs tonight, the other headline that I read more than one headline at a time, is the downgraded growth from the IMF, and we've had downgrades last week, etc. Can you tell me, have you seen any material change in demand side of your business in Q4 or Q1? Was there a moment, or was it just a slow down?
Demand for oil?
on the petrochemical side?
No,
of the business?
petrochemical, I think it's similar to the other sector. It's cyclical. So you will see that the demand is, relatively speaking, strong. What people will do, they will invest. And once you overinvest, you create more supply.
And what about on the oil side? We have about 15 seconds for the answer. Any material shift down in terms of the demand side, Q4, Q1? We can pick it up tomorrow at 8:30 on the TV.
You're going to talk to the minister tomorrow, so I'll leave that to the Minister of Energy to talk about.
Musabbeh Al Kaabi, thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, everybody on trading Musabbeh.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.